Head Coach Bill Lechner to introduce the players.
Thank you, gentlemen. On the far right is Heinrich, number 16. John Dugas, our goalie. Conrad Sampair, number 15, forward.
Conrad, I guess first question's for you. So how did you do in one game that a lot of people haven't been able to do this year and beat Michael Vitt not only once but twice for a game winner and send your team to the state tournament?
Well, first of all, it's a team effort, and I couldn't have done without him. But you know, people keep getting on my case about I got to keep going harder, and I just kept going, and it happened.
Bill, what you talked about after the first period, because they were taking it to you, they were playing their game that first period.
Yep. Respectfully to these guys, we said we had to keep it simple early, throw the puck on net, don't have to have a sports center goal, can't Hollywood up and down the rink. And I think they were a little bit more nervous tonight than they were last night or yesterday. And, I looked up at the clock one time, or the scoreboard, I think the shots were like 6-0 or 7-0, it's like, or 7-1. And so we were concerned about that. It would have been 1-1 if our shot would have gone in. So that was the main thing, is that we're passing up opportunity. We got to shoot the puck. We got to lock up on D zone a little bit better, calm down, quit watching the game and start playing. That was most of it. And we said we'll be fine. We didn't have a very good period, obviously, and to be down 1 goal, it was almost like we're tied or winning the period for what could have happened. And then it started with John Dugas, and obviously Blake Heinrich and the other defensemen did an outstanding job, and the forwards kicked it in and never quit, and good things happened.
You kind of look at the night your defense had, especially a couple of the hits you had. How do you think that physical nature really helped, A, take Moorhead off of this game, and B, really allowed you guys to kind of approach your will and eventually just grind it down as this game went along?
Yeah. Our defense are all new besides me, but they've stepped up a lot today. They played outstanding, and the hitting part, they kind of like followed me behind the hitting, but I feel like it was an all-around team effort today.
John, you have a difficult spot there because you didn't see a lot of pucks for a while there, and that actually can be harder than the guy that did, like Michael was getting the action. Take me through that. Is that difficult on some nights when you're not facing as many pucks?
Definitely it is, and I think you just gotta find ways to mentally keep your head in it. And so you just always gotta be thinking in your head, be ready for the next shot, be ready for anything. And so anything you can do to keep your head in it and not be distracted or kind of knocked off your game for a little bit, that's what I tried to do.
When you face a goalie like this, do you think of it a little bit more? It's obviously a team game, but do you think of it more as a one-on-one duel?
Oh, definitely. I mean, playing a great goalie like him, you can consider it that way. But I like watching him playing against him. It's good because you can pick up new things watching everyone. And so it was definitely a good battle, but he's a great goaltender, that's for sure.
Conrad, coach said as well, looking for sports center goal, and finally just said, no, throw it at the net. Did that sink in at some point? Did you guys really crash from 12? You outshot 12-1 in the third period.
Yeah, in the first period, we obviously had a rough first period, and we all knew we were better than that. And when Coach came in the locker room and after the first, he basically told us, you got to get the puck to the net, crash hard. There's no problem getting the net off its hinges. Just go hard, and they'll go in.
Did you roll with it on the winner?
I couldn't. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw it hit the back, and I knew it, but I couldn't. I honestly had no idea until I pointed at the center.
What's that 30 seconds like? Is there a way to knock up pretty big moves?
I can't even explain it. I don't know. Part of me was ready to get out there and go again and put another one in the back, even if it wasn't. And the other part of me was thinking what I'm going to do if it was a goal.
Bill, we talked at Christmas time here when you guys didn't play quite like you can. What's been the transition here with what is pretty much somewhat a young team?
Right. Well, we play 4 forward seniors regularly, and then that's it. I think Blake alluded to it. Blake, number 16, is the only defenseman we had back from last year's team. We had a young man transfer to Benilde. We had a defenseman go to Canada. And so there you were with one returning defenseman. So we had to take 2 forwards and make them defensemen, and it was a process. And I've said it before to some of you guys, but it's no excuse, but we were young to begin with, and then surprised by a couple. And then we had to go, which was outstanding. As an athletic director, I was very proud of our football team, but 3 of the guys, and 2 of them that are on defense, and Zach Laval, played football, so they got to us late, which we traditionally haven't had that moment, but we adjusted. So we were 0-2, and we were 3-3, and you know, it's a process. And then at Christmas, we were starting to get things together and make decisions, and it was actually during Christmas when we finally put the guys where we thought they should be and then started working. And then I think about around the Egan game is when we had things in place and then just started to put all our systems and get everything to go, and we've been fortunate since.
How huge is this to be in that championship game now?
I'll start. When I was little, obviously, well, my cousin played for Brandon Sampair, and I've always dreamt about playing high school hockey, let alone playing high school hockey and going to the championship. I never would have thought I would even came close, and just being there with this team, and it's unreal. So.
Yeah, definitely like Conrad said, it's a dream come true that you've been dreaming for since you were 5, 6 years old when you watched the tournament, and then finally get there, you realize it's that close for you, and it's laying right there for you to take it. So it's pretty cool that you can just, at one night, you just go out there and earn it.
Yeah, they both said it. It's always a dream come true. I always came up to watch these games when I was younger, living in Cambridge, but I never knew I was going to be able to come to Hill from living in Cambridge. But it's definitely a dream come true.
Hunter, is there a sense because of the streak that somebody's going to find a way to get something done? The confidence is pretty high. Find a way to convert if you need to make a play.
Could you explain that again? I couldn't understand.
My bad. Sorry. With the streak, I mean, is there confidence that somebody's going to get the job done, somebody's going to make a play, and make a big save, just because of?
Again, it's a team effort, and just one line goes, they see that effort. Like his hit in the beginning of the game, I wasn't feeling it before that, and once I saw that got me going, and then I laid a couple bodies, and that affected the whole team.
Coach, you mentioned a couple times this season, last year John kind of gave you a look, kind of wondering when he's going to play. Last year was kind of team year and everything like that. How do you think he's handled everything this year? And of course, you just mentioned early on, kind of
John, our goalie? Yeah.
Especially now.
Right. Yep, we're very proud of him, as well as the whole team, obviously. But Doogie, he backed up Timmy Shaughnessy, and Timmy happened to be the goalie for 3 years, and so John had to be a backup for 2 years. And that's a lot to ask, and stick with it, and get a few games. But and then early, obviously learning curves, and because there's a big difference between playing on a few games and being the backup goalie to being the starter in a pretty one of many, but a program that gets watched pretty close. So puts a little pressure, but he's handled it very well. He's a very outstanding young man. A very mature young man, good student, and so it made it easier because he's a good person around school that that the character would carry over to his athleticism, and he's done that. We're very proud of him.
Coach, can you kind of talk about the success that you've had at the state tournament? Because you maybe haven't always had the favorite going into the tournament, but it seems like you've had, over the course of 3 days, been able to have good success in a short amount of time. So as a coach, what's your sort of strategy going into this sort of format?
A question was asked like that yesterday. I think it's trial and error. Through the years, we've been fortunate enough to have this a lot. So I think if people would watch the history, they'd see the failures that I had and kind of figured it out after a while. Maybe that there's other things you got to do. But I said it yesterday as well. I was fortunate enough, as much as I wanted to be a hungry varsity head coach, I was a JV coach for Coach Skripek for 10 years and learned a lot. Learned how to handle things and learned how to handle tournaments and from banquets to hotels to schedules to when to eat, when to sleep, how to handle kids. And I think it pays off. I think for all the programs. I mean, you saw it tonight. Dave Morinville obviously is outstanding at that. And he has a great program, and Moorhead has a great program, and they're disciplined. And people were like, well, you beat him 6-1 last time. That's going to be a cakewalk. No way. No way. It's going to be a 1-goal game and, you know, 2 great programs. So I think just trial and error and experience, and sometimes it doesn't work too. I mean, last year I think we were rated 1 or 2 in the state, and we didn't even get to the state tournament. So, you know, we can't be arrogant. You try to do the right things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think what I'm most proud of is Conrad said it. Somebody has been stepping up for a while now. You know, a different line, a different guy, a different, you know, a goalie, a defensive set, whatever. So it's hard to pick on, you know, you shut down 3 guys and you got Heinrich taken care of. There's always somebody else that seems to come to the occasion, and we've been fortunate to be on the good side of it.